America's turning 250, and it's time to rock out with our forefathers. American-made, battle-ready style for true patriots. Whether you're marching in the parade, grilling in the backyard, or raising a toast to liberty, do it in the gear that screams freedom. Celebrate 250 years of USA in style. Wear your American pride loud. Trendjackers.etsy.com. Grab yours before the fireworks. America's turning to...
Tony, welcome to Government.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio.
I just want to say thanks for making my millennium. Oh my gosh. Well, it's a love fest.
Yeah, you heard that story.
Yeah.
So I guess should I tell it again?
Oh yeah, if you want. I mean, yeah.
You know, you guys are into comedy. Does it really help when somebody gives the punchline?
Hello! Do it like that.
Hello!
Yeah, like that.
Hello!
Not like that.
No, that was awful.
The one you did when I wasn't.
Hello!
Okay, save it for when it's on.
Sorry.
God, you know, I turn off the microphone, and you're like, gold. I turn the microphone on, I get ah. Seriously, ready?
Hello! That was an idiot. Damn it. Hello!
That was it.
All right. This is the one. Hello! Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
So yeah, do it like hey. All right, you ready? From hey.
Hey!
Now.
Hello! Hey!
Knock 'em dead. Comedy show.
Hello. Do it like.
He nailed it in 3 days. He nailed it. Hi!
Hi.
Hi! Hang on, let me fix this camera here. Let me do this. Okay. Hi, everybody. The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show coming at you live on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, the Facebook page, YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, no matter where you're watching from, we appreciate the support as always. And we ask that you share the link to this show on all of your socials. And that would be very nice. We'd really appreciate that. But if you're watching on Facebook and you want to participate in today's show, you want to, chime in on whatever we're talking about, you want to hear your name said, you want to hear your comments read, well, then please switch over to YouTube because that is where we monitor the comments. If you don't mind, we'd appreciate it. Let's see, I'm going to do that. And I got to do this, and I got to do this. So the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show, we're live on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, and we're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, and Michael has returned. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been off. Before we get into things with Michael, some announcements I want to make. First off, don't forget, Gov's Comedy Club podcast has been nominated for the best radio station streaming for Long Island. Best of Long Island. So please vote for Gov's Comedy Club podcast, best radio station streaming. You can vote once a day, every day, until December 15th. We appreciate that very much.
How do you vote?
You go on the website, bestoflongisland.com.
Nice.
What?
Nice.
Oh. And also with the Best of Long Island, Hershey and the Keegs and Primal Scream with Nick Greystone, both shows have been nominated for Best Podcast. So you can vote for one of those. Nick Greystone has also been nominated for Best Long Island Personality. And his band, Demon Scar, has been nominated for Best Band, I think in the Originals category, I believe it is. So please vote. Please vote. All right, moving on. We have, don't forget, next Thursday, not tomorrow, next Thursday. It's another show with Elio Pace where he'll be zooming in, and it'll be one of those shows where I'm answering your questions. So if you have any questions for Elio, contact me personally or just message the Gov's Comedy Club podcast Facebook page and submit your question. Elio is finishing up a tour. I believe it's this Friday or Saturday is the last night of his tour. Then he goes back out again in March. So he'll be talking about the tour, talking about his latest plans and what's going on with him, and that'll be a lot of fun. Always a good time when he joins us on the show. So that's next Thursday at 11 a.m. Tomorrow we have Richie Byrne joining us tomorrow. That'll be fun. All right, and then also don't forget Together to Save Lives. Lisa Donato Walker is joining hundreds of thousands of people across the country who are walking in the Out of the Darkness community walks to prevent suicide and support the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and their mission to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. Please help by Lisa has actually already reached her goal, but the money always helps, so keep on donating. I put the link on my personal page, so I think I'm friends with all you guys. And then so click on the link, then click on donate. All donations are 100% tax deductible and benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, funding research, education, advocacy, and support for those affected by suicide. All right, and and the walk is this weekend. I think it's Sunday, but I'm not positive. Jones Beach. Yep.
Nice.
Absolutely. That's a nice thing that she's doing, and I believe she's dragging our daughter over there with her.
You doing it?
No. No, I'm kidding. That's a lot of walking, and I can't do it. Plus, it's my last weekend at White Post.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Week number 6, final weekend.
How of a walk is it, do you know?
I have no idea. Oh. No idea. Scott is watching. Only 6 more months until that lady from the pajama charity takes over the studio. That is not happening. And yay, Magic Mike is back. Miss you.
Man.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, everybody. All right. So we started the show. Mike and I were in mid-conversation. You guys know I was complaining to you last week how Matt Napo backed out of the show, the murder mystery I had last Saturday. In fact, it was last Wednesday. He was doing his show and started complaining that he thinks he's having a stroke. And then he started saying, I can't have a stroke. I have to go to Walker's house tonight to rehearse. I have things to do. I have that to do. But he said, I'm not feeling good. My wife wants me to go to the hospital. I don't want to go. But either way, there's no way I'm driving out to Walker's house because Matt Napo, I think he's out by you somewhere.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Then sure enough, he texted me after his show that day and said, yeah, I think I'm having a stroke. My wife wants me to go to the hospital. I don't want to go, but either way, I'm not coming tonight. And I texted back. I said, Matt, stroke or not, it sounds pretty serious. Don't worry about this show.
Yeah.
Go take care of yourself. And that was the whole thing. That was the whole correspondence. I didn't hear a thing. I didn't promote his show. Like I post a picture, for us. I do it with all the shows for whatever's on the next day. And I didn't even post anything for him because I figured, he'd either be resting or in a hospital. Or sure enough, he was on. So now, I admit, I was a little suspicious. And, just feeling a little weird, So I commented during their show. I was like, you're on the air? What are you doing? And he said, he goes, I still think I'm having a stroke. He goes, but I'm doing my show today because I don't want to go to the hospital. He goes, and don't worry, I'll be there Saturday for your show. So a million things. I was like, first off, does a stroke, can it last over 24 hours like that?
I don't know.
I've never heard that. And then I'm like, all right, well, the guy, stroke or not, it sounded pretty serious. I thought it was kind of obvious that he wasn't going to be able to do the show.
No.
So on Wednesday, after he texted me, I spent the afternoon looking for a replacement. I called you. You had something to do, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
So so that's what I was telling you. A gentleman by the name of Brian McGowan. We actually met him together.
Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah.
26 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
26 years ago. And I remember that because I remember Lisa coming with the baby stroller and Sammy was in the stroller. Out in Bellport, which is about an hour east of here, South Shore of Long Island, just outside the Hamptons, we knew some people that were doing a Shakespeare production, Much Ado About Nothing. And they asked Mike and I to be in it. We went out there to check things out, and we got offered roles. And then I don't remember what the reasons were, what was going on.
Yeah,
but
I don't remember
we
either.
both ended up turning it down.
Yeah.
The woman that offered us the roles was pretty pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Too bad. Not sorry. But then, so she offered us the roles, I think it was like June or July. The show was right around this time of year, so they went like the whole summer rehearsing.
It was outside of that marina,
Correct.
Bellport Marina.
Yeah, they have a little stage up there.
Mm-hmm.
So the show was a week away from opening, and the woman who was at that point the director. She wasn't the director when she offered us the role. Apparently, they went through a few directors, numerous casting changes, and apparently the rehearsals were a nightmare because we both knew several cast members. But the woman called me up a week before the show, and she begged me to come in. She's like, the show opens in a week. We still don't have this one particular role filled. Can you please do me a favor? I'm like, fine. So I agreed to do it. Drove out to Bellport every night for a week to rehearse, which was awful. One positive was Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah.
Who lived out there.
She still lives in
She
Bellport.
still lives out there?
Mhm.
She came by one day to watch the rehearsal. And she is just as stunning in person as she is on the big screen. So that was fun. And there was another actress who came by as well who lived out there at the time. Her name escapes me. She was on NYPD Blue and she was on ER. She was one of the original cast members of ER. Cute blonde-haired woman. That's gonna bug me.
NYPD Blue?
Yeah, she started off on that show and then moved on to ER. Is Vicky watching? Vicky has all that useless information. No, I don't see her. Let's see. ER original cast. Sherry Stringfield.
Oh,
Sherry
yeah.
Stringfield.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, she lived out there at the time. I don't know if she still does or not, but yeah, she came by rehearsals too.
Yeah, that's her.
Yes, that is her.
Yeah.
Great actress, actually. I loved her in ER. Yeah, and made the best of rehearsals. It was definitely tense because it was the last week and they were nowhere near the show ready. But we met this one gentleman, Brian McGowan. At the time, he was a very big guy, tall, and he just had a presence about him. And he was very good in the show. I thought he was very good. And we kind of hit it off. And we did the show. It was a weekend. It was only 3 shows, one weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it was a mess. It was not good. But I still had fun. I knew, like I said, I knew a lot of the cast, so I had fun. Lisa and some friends drove out to Bellport to come watch. And I thought it was cool, too, that I could, tell people, that I did Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
People are always, people are always impressed. Or even other actors, like, they hear Shakespeare, they're like, oh, he must be good,
Oh, yeah.
So I always throw that out there. So I met this guy, Brian McGowan, and him and I, like when the show was done, we were, wishing each other well and, parting ways. But we said, someday we'd love to do something together again. He was just a cool guy and a great actor. We didn't really keep in touch. We ran into each other a little bit here and there, but not really. And then the last time I saw him was probably, I want to say 2002 or something. I was working. We both worked with a theater company that did like live radio shows, libraries and bookstores and some other places where there wasn't any. It wasn't like a play where you moving around and stuff. You just stood in front holding a script and you read the lines. And then when you weren't,
it was in front of a music stand.
Right, there were 2 music stands. So some people stand by one, some people stand by the other. And if you weren't in a scene, you just went and sat down behind the actors. So you're always on stage, and you just wait your turn. You go up and down. So yeah, live radio plays, stage readings, and I stopped working with that troupe in 2002.
Same.
Right, and I remember I saw him at one of the shows that we did. He was watching it. That was the last time I saw him. So then fast forward to about a year ago. You guys know Recipe for Laughter that's on every first Thursday of the month with Bonnie and Felix. And Felix doesn't get around very well. He's had some health issues. So Felix doesn't drive. So about a year ago, Well, all right, yeah. So when he came back, remember he had Let's Eat Long Island. That was his show, and then he really had some bad health issues, so he wasn't here for 2 years, I think it was. Came back to do Recipe for Laughter, and again, he's not driving, so his wife's sister's boyfriend drove him here to do the show. They come in, and it's this guy, Brian. I'm like, I haven't seen this guy in 20 years. It's like, what the? Couldn't believe it. So we get to talking and, catching up, and again, talking about, we'd love to do something together at some point. So Wednesday, when Napo couldn't do the show, and I'm scrambling, like I said, I contacted you. You had something to do Saturday night, so you couldn't do it. So I contacted Brian. He said he could do it. I emailed him the script, gave him a very quick rundown of how we do things. He had never seen us before. He knew nothing about us or what we do. We went and did the show Saturday night. It was out in Mastic. And the cast, we were definitely sloppy with lines. We held our own. We were ad-libbing our way through it, faking our way through it. The audience was having a good time, but we were sloppy with lines. But this guy, Brian, came in, and there we are backstage. So I went straight from, I had to be there at 6:30 at the show to set up, but that's when people were coming in, 6:30. I usually like to be set up and all,
Yeah, I know.
I always get to my shows early, but I was working at White Post till 5:30. So I work at White Post. I book out of there. I actually didn't even leave there till 5:40. Drive out to Mastic. I get there at 6:32.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch. Get everything in. And I was flustered because I want to get everything in and get set up. So Bosie's there. Another guy, Steve Godjeski, he's there. They're grabbing a few things for me, and we're all carrying. I'm grabbing stuff. We're walking in. We walk into the place. One of the things I'm carrying is the dolly to put things on and wheel them in. So I did. I turned to Bosie and I go, I'm carrying the dolly. So I carry it back outside. We load it up. But so the show was starting at 8, so we only had an hour and a half. We got fed, so we had to eat. We had to get dressed. I had to set up. So I had maybe 45 minutes to maybe run lines and explain to Brian, this is what we do for this, and this is how this works, and this is freaking out in my head. Knowing Brian treats a project like a professional, but still nervous because he had never seen us before. I knew the cast was going to be sloppy with lines because the previous rehearsal we were not set. So we do the show, and that's what we were talking about when I'm finishing our conversation because we went on the air. Brian McGowan, I think other than me, he knew the lines better than the whole cast.
That's incredible.
I mean,
3 days.
Not only did he know his lines and nail the character, but he also ad-libbed. I even told the audience at the end. I told him flat out, I didn't name anybody, but I said the actor originally supposed to do this role, we think may have had a stroke. And sure, you hear the audience. I said, so this next performer came in on 3 days' notice. He has never, not only 3 days' notice, but he has never worked with us before. And he got a big round of applause. I mean, he just nailed it. So a big thank you to Brian McGowan. You guys have seen Brian on Recipe for Laughter. Sometimes when they make food and they have people judge it and stuff, Brian's usually sitting on the couch and they'll bring him in to be a judge and stuff. Nice guy, good guy. His main gig is he's a DJ on a radio station out in Sag Harbor, which, if you're not familiar, Sag Harbor is like the end of the world. Is it even now? It's considered Long Island, but isn't it like its own separate little island? Sag Harbor.
No, that's Shelter Island.
Oh, that's Shelter Island. You're right. But Sag Harbor's like right there, though, right?
Very close. You have to take a little ferry ride to get to Shelter Island. Sag Harbor is just south of Shelter Island.
Oh, but it's still part of the main island.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Hi, honey.
Hi, my cinnamon run.
How are you?
Good. My favorite character for the whole evening was also Lesba.
Oh, that's right, Lesba.
she started off with the evening almost about to like get carried away in an ambulance, like choking to death.
She was choking for at least 10 minutes.
A character or audience?
No, that's her. Well, she claimed that was her name. She was an audience member. She just kept coughing. We were getting ready to start, and me and Jeff were standing by the sound, equipment, the front of the stage, and she was right there. She was at a table right in front of us. Yeah, choking. But what was funny to me, and I pointed out to Jeff, nobody else at the table seemed concerned.
No one cared.
Yeah, no one was even looking at her. No one
like, you're right, here's some water.
Nothing. They were all just carrying on their conversations like she wasn't even there. And there she is. And yeah, a good 10 minutes. And Jeff and I stood there watching. And that's how, that tells you a lot about me and Jeff.
Yeah.
That we didn't walk over and say, excuse me, miss, are you okay? Yeah.
Well, I was just looking at it as if she went ahead and fell on the floor, we would have been, okay, everybody, let's figure out who did it. And the show would have been over a lot sooner.
Yeah, people would have thought she was a plant. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we could have worked that in. You're right.
No one worked it in?
No. Well, she didn't die.
No, she didn't die.
And she didn't fall to the floor. She did, and she seemed fine. By the time the show started, she seemed fine. She actually got up. We had the show was a luau theme.
Yeah.
And we had a hula dancing contest in the middle of the show. She actually was one of the people who got up to do the contest.
Oh, she did.
And she won. She won. So sure enough, though, she gets her prize. She goes and sits. She sits for maybe 10 seconds. Sure enough, she gets out and she runs out the door. So I stopped. I go, what happened? And then people at the table were like, yeah, she needs some air. I must have asked that table 4 times until she came back in, is she okay? And they, don't worry, she's fine. Don't worry, she's fine. That's all I kept getting. I'm like, okay, then I won't worry. And I just, kept on doing what I was doing. And she did. She eventually came back in and she, appeared to be fine. But yeah, she claimed her name was Lesba.
Oh, Lesba.
No, Lesma or Lesba?
I don't know. It sounds all the same to me at this point.
But I'll tell you the God's honest truth. That it was not the first Lesba I ever met. I actually knew a girl.
Lesma.
Late 80s, early 90s with the same name. I can't remember if this girl said Lesma or Lesba. I think she said Lesma. The girl I knew was Lesba.
Well, if she would portray a guy, she would have been Lesbo. But
I think I did make one of the obvious jokes at one point, didn't I? I think I did.
I have questions about this lady.
But she did have it. She did have sort of an attraction to our bikini wondered.
Oh, did she?
Oh yeah, she was like gesturing to have a dance off with her. Instead, I want to dance with her.
Oh, that's right, she did. Yeah, we had Allie Zach, Allie Cam, excuse me, who is, was just on the show a few weeks ago. Yeah, she was. How do I describe? Yeah, I guess she was
Bambi. Bambi.
Well, yeah, that was the character's name. I was trying to figure out a way to describe her outfit, but it was basically
provocative.
Provocative, yeah. I mean, she's got a great body, and she had like a bikini top and a Hawaiian skirt, and she looked pretty freaking hot. So I guess Lesma was living up to her name then. I guess.
Was she an older woman?
Yes.
They were all old.
Well, yeah, that's true.
What kind of place was this?
This was the Mastic Homeowners Association.
Oh, really?
Yep. Which you're probably familiar with.
Very familiar with.
Yeah, that just hit me. Yeah.
So you're right. They're mostly older people that live down in Mastic. And
right.
When I was campaigning, I met with them a bunch of times.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you meet Lesma?
I don't remember her.
Lesma looked like, Jeff, would you say she's probably around 60?
60 and a Whoopi Goldbergish.
She was African American and she had the dreads. Yeah, and she had glasses. She did look a lot like Whoopi. But yeah, being around 60, she was one of the younger people in the audience. Yeah, that's an old crowd over there. But they're fun and they're nice people.
Yeah.
Even, a lot of them are missing teeth, but they're
passionate people down there about their area.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They sure are.
Where was it held?
At their building.
Oh, that little neighborhood building. White building?
Grayish white.
Grayish
yeah.
white, yeah.
We did a show there last year or 2 years ago where there's a big municipal parking lot across the street. And we didn't stop the show, but we almost did because somebody came in and said somebody's out there trying to break into cars. So, it's that kind of neighborhood. But luckily that didn't happen this time. And it was nice to have Jeff back. Jeff did sound. And then he's returning back to the performing end in December. We're very excited about that.
Thank God, because the sound part was like so difficult. I had to push buttons and then buttons and then more buttons and then shut things off and turn things on and then make music play, and it was very stressful for me. I'd rather just be in a dress and flirt with all the people over there.
There were a couple of moments there where Jeff was struggling, but it's a comedic show, so it totally fits and it worked, and we just
I think
made
I
jokes.
have to say my opinion, considering you had the new guy and Linda on par. I think the show went pretty well.
I think it went well. We were sloppy with lines, but we ad-libbed our way through it and had fun with it, and it seemed to me like the audience was enjoying themselves.
You think they caught on to the gaps in lines?
Well, there were a couple of moments where we actually said, "Whose line is it?"
That's funny.
Oh, we do stuff like that all the time.
That's funny.
I've been doing it for years where I have, if things are really like, if there's a lot of interaction back and forth and we're completely off the rails and off script, it's a stock ad lib, and we've talked about it before, and I've talked about it with comedians when they do crowd work
before, and I got in trouble with the other lady because
that's different. But
different.
Here, we allow this kind of thing. We break the fourth wall constantly, and I'm not comparing ourselves, but we're in the same school of as far as the way we do things, as say like the Cal Burnett show, the way they used to break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, when things get really hairy, a lot of times I'll trying to reel it back in. I'll stop and I'll tell everybody, "All right, stop." I'll wait for a pause and I'll say, "I don't remember where we were." Gets a laugh every single time. And like I said, I've talked about it with you. I talk about it with Jeff. I talk about it with comedians. If they're doing crowd work, you keep certain things in your head stocked.
Yeah.
For the right moment. The trick is to make it seem like you just came up with it, and you're saying it for the first time.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you get them. You get the laugh every single time. And God's honest truth, because I wrote these things, I always know where we are when I say that.
Right.
It's just to kind of reel them back in and get the laugh, and then all right, got them. Now let's continue, and it kind of brought them back because
like
things
recenters everything.
Right, refreshes, recenter.
Yeah.
So so we do stuff like that all the time, and when we break that wall and say, was it my line or sometimes I'll be like, it's you, stuff like that. And Linda did it the other night. She at one point just turned to everybody. She's like, I forgot my line, and and it gets a laugh, and that's probably the most frequent compliment that I hear when we do our shows is the audience is saying afterwards, what I liked about it so much was how you guys were having fun with each other, making each other laugh. That a lot of people say that's the part that they really like the most.
Yeah.
I guess, again, similar to Cal Burnett. You talk about Cal Burnett, the first thing you think of is Harvey Korman laughing at Tim Conway.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first thing you think of. So, kind of like the same vein. But, Jeff did a great job handling the sound. I did make fun of him a couple times, but you did a super job, and
Thank you.
You're a part of the family, always were, and we're thrilled that you're back. And the cast was very excited when they heard that you were coming back in December. But then when
Greg got all wet. But go ahead.
Well, true. But then when they were surprised when to find out that you were coming in to do sound the other night. So that was a nice night for everybody.
Yes, I love the fact that I got to see Mom again, and I like this with Greg, and then, like I said, the two new cast members, and Steve. Steve, it's good to see Steve again. And, yes, it's great to see everybody, and it'll definitely be a good time, and I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
So you're not in your truck today. Where are you?
No, I'm actually I'm running, and I'm doing what like a normal hoe would do. I'm soliciting.
Oh.
So I have, because there's not enough customers on like to do plant work. So I have to try to find customers for my other coworkers. And so when I'm not driving the truck, I'm out being the company hoe like I normally am. And right now I'm parked in front of a Staples because I need a stapler. Because that's very important, and it's very, very entertaining to tell people that you need a stapler on your show.
Mike has a stapler.
I do.
That's weird. Why do you bring the stapler to a podcast?
That's just a little inside joke.
It's just a little inside
I'll tell you about that off the air.
Okay.
So you're like, you're going to businesses or calling businesses to like cold calling to like offer. Really, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I listen. Everybody needs to know that I do everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I do it all, everything. If I'm not doing stand-up, I'm unclogging a toilet. If I'm not doing a soundboard, I'm in a dress. If I'm not fixing a scale, I'm out soliciting for more scale work. If I need to like repair my car, I will repair someone else's before mine. So I have to know how to do it all, everything.
You are a very handy man.
Yeah, and if you want me to give you a reach around, I can hand you off like that too. Being a handyman, whatever you want.
Well, you don't wait. You don't wait for me to ask.
No, I know. I'm curious. You know who I haven't seen and who I would love to like get close to, and I know he's going to sit there. Can we hang up the phone now? Kaplan, how you been, baby?
You guys haven't done a murder mystery together yet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we
At
have.
that fancy house on the North Front.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that fun show.
Remember that?
Yes,
What a nasty crowd that was.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where the older guy ran off with his daughter or whatever it was.
Well, he said it was his wife, but I don't know.
No. Well, his wife was there.
Yeah, she
but
was
that is
there.
not his wife. He was hanging all over.
No, that was a very odd show.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you experience? Did you get a true Bosie experience that show?
I did.
You did.
Oh yeah, him and I interacted a few times.
Interacted. Oh
yeah.
Intercoursed or inter.
Oh. No.
Is that what you're calling it, Kaplan? Interacted.
Yeah. I like that. We interacted.
I bet you do, you silly little man.
Is this your sales tactic? Is this how you get clients?
Well, hey, listen, I told you I'm out here soliciting. I'm going to try to get whatever I can, I mean, whether it's a guy or another scale company. No, I'm joking. Anyways, I'm going to let you go before this gets any more weirder than it already has.
All right, well, good luck on your street corner, wherever you're soliciting.
I will. I'll show a little leg just for you, baby cake.
Yes.
Those white legs.
I can't wait to interact, Jeffrey.
Oh, my God.
All righty. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll let you go. Bye-bye. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. There it is. Oh, God. Jeff Skelsey checking in. All right, let's see what's going on in the comments.
You mean Jeff Bosie?
What did I say?
Jeff Skelsey.
Oh, sorry. Jeff Bosie. Sorry about that. Last weekend, not going. What? All right, I don't know what that is. After my divorce, says Fremder, I didn't want to live anymore. My psychologist said, you're just going to have to put suicide.
Did you know?
I knew you were going to come up with one after hearing that.
Well, did you know? Traveling, I love to travel, traveling across the country. And it's amazing that towns are named after the water towers. You get it? I was dying when I heard that one. Because you see the towns, they have the... Why do they put the names on the towers?
I don't know. I always wondered that myself, actually. I actually say that at White Post because I'm in one field, and then there's another field where all the shows are happening, all the entertainment.
Yeah.
And you can't see the field from where I am. But there's a big sign. Entrance to festival shows. So when I'm making my announcements, coming up at 11:45, If you head on back to the cornfield, that's the next field over. You know, we got the magic show happening at 11:45. If you just walk right through that big sign, it says entrance to festival shows, which is amazing that we found that sign since all the festival shows are back that way. I always say stupid shit like that. And then, yeah, I'll get, you know, I get one person kind of look at me like, and then I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm on this microphone for 9 hours, baby. I got to think of something to say.
I have a question for you. Speaking of breaking the fourth wall, have you ever done it on stage, at a stage show?
Yes.
So have I, and I took a chance. I would love to hear your experience if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
And I'll share mine.
All right, great idea. Just a few years ago, I was doing a show, Power Plays, I think is the name of it.
Power Plays.
Alan Arkin, I think, was it on Broadway or off Broadway? He was the main star, who I love. Alan Arkin was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
His son was also in it, in this play. And his son, I'm like the opposite. Like, I love Alan Arkin. I think his son sucks.
Oh,
he doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I find him annoying. I don't like him. Sorry, but I don't like him. And I forget. So it's 2 guys and 2 girls, and I don't think they're anybody famous in the original play. But the whole. So when I got offered the roles that Alan Arkin played, which that in itself was a big compliment. But what we were doing, if it's funny, we were just talking about radio plays. I don't know why, but this woman who was directing it and putting it all together, she didn't want a set. She didn't want us to know our lines. We actually carried the script was it was a small. It's actually even a little smaller than this, but it was a book, you know, of the script. And she wanted us. She gave us some blocking. We had to do some moving around.
Yeah.
But she wanted us to read. She didn't want us to know the lines. So, and there were 3 skits, I think, and I was in 2 of them, or maybe it was just 2. Either way, I was in 2 skits, but one of them involved 2 mobsters who are not too bright, and the whole. Maybe that's why she did it this way, because these guys, they were planning a heist, okay? They were hired to do a heist. They didn't know each other, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they meet each other someplace, and they decide to do a little run-through of this heist. So because they're doing a run-through, they didn't have the actual things, like there were some crates involved and weapons and money, and you know they were going to be moving things and opening things, but it wasn't the actual heist. They were just doing a run through, so they had to like pretend to have a crowbar to open a box and pretend to transfer this thing to another thing.
See.
So the whole skit involved a lot of moving around, but the director wanted us to have the book. I'm like, how am I supposed to do all this stuff? And to me, it didn't feel right to have the book and then use one hand. So I did what we were just talking about. I brought a music stand, and I would put the book on the music stand. But because we're moving around so much, like sometimes I'm on one end of the stage, the music stand's on the other side.
Yeah.
So I just took it upon myself to memorize some of this stuff. Now, the guy I was acting with, whose name I will not mention because he's been on this show, and I really doubt he watches, but there were times he's reading the whole time. But there were times where, I guess because we're supposed to be doing so much, he'd be reading, and then he would go and pretend to do something, and then he would go back, and he would
lose his place.
And sometimes he would jump 3 or 4 lines. And I'd be like, oh, fuck me, and I'm trying to remember where we are, I'm trying to work my way back. I thought it was a very funny skit, and I thought we were okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was okay. But, so this was a few years ago, and there's a part, so again, we're just pretending to have all these items that we're supposed to be working with. And at the end of the skit, we end up getting into a fight, and like a fist fight. And then we pull out guns. But again, this is all It's like that's the joke now. That everything is make believe. So
Yeah.
we're pulling out. We don't have guns. We're just
Right.
like this. So I forget if I shoot him. I forget what happens to him. But I think he shoots me, and I'm down. For whatever reason, I end up shooting myself. I don't even remember why. But so we get to the first. I think we only did 2 nights. I think it was maybe, or was it one? Might have been just one night. We get to the show, and the director, she's like running around like a maniac. She decided that she wants to have sound effects, even though we're not working with the actual items, which is the whole point of the piece.
Mm-hmm.
But she decides she wants to have sound effects. So the show's like an hour away, and there she is on the corner of the stage trying to figure out sound effects. And you see, she's working up a sweat. So I was there with Sally. Sally, when we were together, just like she would work the board in here, she worked the soundboard at our Murder Mysteries. So she went to the director and said, if you want, I'll do that. I'm just here to watch. I'll work the sound effect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sally. But it wasn't like a board. It was basically like an iPad or it might have even been a CD player. I forget, but it wasn't something, totally, mature. It wasn't something big. It was very amateurish and whatever it was. So I'm laying on the floor and I'm supposed to pull out the gun. And I was told before the show, wait for the sound effect to make it look like you're shooting yourself in the head and then you go down. So I go like this, and I'm trying to time it right for the sound effect, and the sound effect's not coming. So I stopped. I didn't look at the audience, but I kind of looked towards their direction. And I just shrugged, and then I just looked at my hand and went, put it back, boom, sound effect. It worked out perfectly. Then I went down. The audience totally knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And they're hysterical.
That's funny.
I'm laying there dead. I have video of it. I'm laying there, I'm not supposed to be dead, but because it wasn't a real gun. But either way, but all you see in the video, I go down, all you see is my stomach bouncing because I'm laughing. I just, went like that, and then boom, I totally made it look like the gun wasn't working, and then it couldn't have been timed any better. It worked out perfectly, and that's all we talked about after the show was how funny that was.
Yeah.
So that's one time on stage where I did it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
I was doing The Wizard of Oz in Creative Ministries.
I remember you doing that.
And I had 3 parts: Uncle Henry, the Gate Guard, and the Wizard. And when I was playing the gate guard, remember the gate guard? He's up on like a pedestal behind a prop, and he opens this little round window and says, nobody sees the wizard, nobody not know how. But this was community theater, so they just had like this little wall, this little rolling wall. So I'm just leaning on it, and where I'm exchanging lines with Dorothy and the characters, the Tin Man, whatever, and who rang that bell? And it was children's theater, so it was mostly kids there.
Right.
So I hear someone in the audience say, I want to ring the bell. I want to ring the bell. I want to ring the bell. So I saw he was getting hyped up. So I just went behind the wall and I pointed to the kid. I said, do you want to come up and ring the bell? I said, come on, ring the bell.
Oh, wow.
So the kid came up on stage. I said, here, just press the button. There was no bell. Press the bell. I said, thank you. And I scooted him off, because he's in a long green robe. And I'm like, go ahead. And I'm like, go ahead. Oh, my little. And, that was unheard of in community theater.
Yeah.
And I remember the director, Joe, and he goes, you got some balls on you. He goes, no one's ever broke the fourth wall here. He goes, but it worked out well. Everyone, got a big round of applause because I involved one of the little kids.
Okay.
And, that was fun.
That is cool.
I love breaking the fourth wall.
I do love breaking it.
I do.
As long as it fits.
As long as it fits, yeah.
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 Like I wouldn't do...
I saw Patti LuPone break the fourth wall.
Really?
Yeah, when...
I love her.
Oh, classics.
I've tried to get her on this show.
Oh.
Yeah, no dice.
My parents took my brother and I to see Anything Goes. I was, 14.
I used to have the soundtrack album of her version of that.
Anything Goes?
Yeah.
And the show was awful.
Really?
Awful.
No kidding.
I mean, she was great, but the rest of the cast was awful. The staging was bad. The set was bad.
Wow.
It wasn't even a Broadway show. I forgot.
I thought it was Broadway.
It wasn't Broadway. It was done somewhere else. I don't
This is
remember.
what, like mid-'80s, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And at
That's
one
funny.
point,
I remember
she's
getting the soundtrack. Yeah.
center of the stage, front of the stage, and someone's coughing or something, and she like messed up a singing line, and she went to the audience. She's like, "What do you want from me?" In a joke.
No, who did she say that to?
She said it's an audience member.
Oh wow!
It was hysterical, and I remember thinking, because by that point I took a few acting classes. I'm like, I just saw Patti LuPone break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
All right, but I think in that show too, it works especially for the character she was playing.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the character. But
what's her name? Oh, that's gonna bug me too.
We'll have to look it up then.
Yeah. But it's a great role. It's a great role.
Great role,
and it fits the character. And that show is silly and slapstick and very funny.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's not a serious show.
No, not at all.
Serious musical.
That was my senior year of high school. That was the show we did.
That's right.
I was Moonface Martin. I saw on TV, which I don't know. See, this is where I don't agree with breaking the fourth wall. I saw on TV a few years.
Sweeney.
Reno Sweeney.
Yes.
That's it. Yep. Oh, that's great. I saw on TV once. I think it was the Today Show, if I'm not mistaken. They showed this clip of Hugh Jackman doing a play, and somebody's phone goes off, and he stops. He was whatever play it was in, but he stops, turns to the you want to get that or just turn it off. But it was a drama. So I'm like, no, that's bullshit. And then they talk to him. The Today Show talks to him. And he's like, well, I'm trying to do a scene. I'm trying to concentrate. And if these people are going to be so rude.
He's an asshole.
It's like, you prima donna, son of a bitch bastard.
Cheating on his wife. He's a horrible person.
Yeah, he's a dick. And I just, even before all that, I just never thought he was that good of an actor. He never did anything for me. But, and there they are, like, the Today Show is laughing. Oh, Hugh Grant, he's crazy. Like, no, he's a dick.
Hugh Jackman?
What did I say?
Hugh Grant.
Oh, my God. Hugh Jackman. And then, sure enough, they show another clip of him at some other play where he did the same thing. It's like, leave I'm sure the person is embarrassed already that they forgot to shut their phone
and can't
off.
you stay in character and just keep going?
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Embarrassed already. Now they're being singled out by him in the middle of the show. Like, stay in character and just... I remember one of the scenes was taking place in somebody's house or an apartment or something. Fine. If you want to say, the place next door, I wish they would turn their phone off or, something. You want to do something like that. But he stopped dead in his tracks, looks into the audience and points at the person or in that vicinity, like, you want to shut it off now? Or do you want us to wait while you answer it? Like, you're a dick.
Yeah, that's
I don't like that kind of fourth wall breaking.
No.
I did a show. I tried not to break the fourth wall. Again, I was a senior in high school. We were doing a Chekhov play. It was called, it was called A Marriage Proposal, which I would actually love to do again sometime.
Wow.
Because now I'm in the right age for it. In high school, I was playing this girl's father, where another guy is coming to ask her hand in marriage, and he asks my permission first. Very, very funny piece. And craziness ensues, and it's just the three people in the cast. And there's a part at the end where it just gets really crazy. If you're not familiar with it, it gets really crazy, and there's all sorts of fighting and yelling going on. And I'm kind of like, I'm so stressed. I'm almost like, I even say at one point, oh, my heart's fluttering. Something wrong. I think I'm dying. So I'm all flustered, right? So, but then there's a part where I'm like, look, I'm trying to get everybody to have a drink, but I'm supposed to be all flustered, so I'm getting a drink like this, and it was real glass cup and a real glass pitcher. So I'm shaking them, and sure enough, both of them chip a little bit.
But could you clank them together?
But I just kept going. I put the pitcher down. I take a drink, and I could feel it. I swallowed a piece of glass.
Oh.
And I did, and I tried to hide it, but I didn't, because all I heard afterwards were from so many people, "Are you okay? Are you okay? We can tell." I was like, "Fuck." But and I ended up fine. Like nothing happened. You know. But but yeah. So I didn't mean to break the fourth wall, but I totally did. And then all right. Then my last story with breaking the fourth wall. Same play. Same night. So we were doing a bunch of different one-act plays. So there was the Chekhov thing. There were a few others, and then probably the most popular one was "Sorry, Wrong Number." Are you familiar with this?
No,
Lonnie Anderson made a movie version of this years later, but it's a one-act play. I believe it was originally a radio play about this woman who can't walk, and it takes place. I think it was even written like in the 30s or 40s or something. She's on her phone, and back then, you had to call the operator, and the operator would move the wires. So she's on the phone, and the operator's moving the wires, and the woman, the wires are crossed, and she hears two men talking about a murder that they're planning. But then as the play is going on, you realize that the wires weren't crossed. It was actually her husband on another line, on another phone, talking to a guy to kill her. Great. It's a great, great piece. I play the murderer. So I'm on the phone getting the instructions. So I didn't break the fourth wall. My director did. So I don't know what. To this day, I've never asked her what happened. I would swear she told me, okay, after you get off the phone, you're gonna go. She wanted me to leave the room, go down a hallway, and then come in a different door to the same room.
Yeah.
I don't know if I went to the wrong door. I don't know what happened. I'm listening from behind, from behind the door. It's time for me to make my entrance to commit the murder. I walk out. And there she is. She's got one of the crew members. She's got him by the shoulders, and you see the panic in her face, and she's shaking him, and she's talking, whispering loudly to him, and she's like trying to lead him onto the stage, so as I walk out, I make my entrance, but I see this at the corner of my eye. So I'm actually walking out, and I just do a quick, and I stopped. And she looks at me with this panicked face, and you see instantly the relief, and she pushes him off, like pushes him away. This show was in the round. We weren't on the stage, so she was seen. It wasn't like she was backstage.
Right.
So that's why I say she broke the fourth wall, because people could see her.
Yeah.
It turned out, she thought I was coming out a different door. She thought I was gone. She really thought I was gone. I was like, I wouldn't freaking leave in the middle of the show, but I never to this day, I mean, this is 40 years ago, I never asked her where I was supposed to go, or did she make the mistake? Because I just went to that same spot every show, and I guess at that point she knew that's where I was going to be. But that one particular performance, she thought I was gone. So she was trying to get this other kid who never acted a day in his life to jump out there, commit the murder, and then say whatever lines he had after.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, I thought, very strange. Very strange. But speaking of breaking the fourth wall, we've talked about this before on here. When we did It's a Wonderful Life, and that jerk fell into the woman. And
in the wheelchair?
Yeah. I'm going to tell it again because I repeat my stories.
Because I have a couple.
Time.
I have two more for you, but that's might be the classic of
We were
classics.
doing It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, my God.
I've said it a million times, and I will always say it. Mike Kaplan's Mr. Potter is the best Mr. Potter I have ever seen. I don't care about Lionel Barrymore in the movie.
Yeah.
You nailed that role. It was perfect. And this was what year? Late 90s? Wow, so this is like 26, 27 years ago?
2000 maybe? 99?
No, because Sammy was born in 99, and it wasn't after. Was it after she was born? All right, it's around there somewhere.
Yeah.
25, 26 years ago. And so Lisa was in it. She was Mary Bailey. I had small roles. I was in the play throughout.
You like Bert the Cop.
Bert the Cop.
You had important parts.
Nick the bartender. Yeah,
which is a great part.
Yeah, it was fun. So, and again, it was the live radio type plays, so we never left the stage.
Were you Mr. Gower as well?
You were Mr. Gower.
I was Mr. Gower. Yeah.
Yeah, you were Mr. Gower.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. So we never left the stage. If we weren't up in a scene, we had to sit down behind the actors, and we were told just sit there and look straight.
Yep.
Look professional and serious. So it's a scene with you where Mr. Potter offers George Bailey a job. And George considers it, and then he comes to his senses. You're just a scurvy little spider, Mr. Gower. And for whatever reason, the director...
Mr. Potter.
Oh, I said Mr. Gower. Yeah. Mr. Potter, you're a scurvy little spider. But the guy in our play was a little bitch. A scurvy little spider. You're just a scurvy little spider. Oh, it was terrible. The only reason he had the role was because his mother was the director.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, for that scene, his mother, after George yells at Potter, she wanted him to run out of the room. Instead of going back to his seat, she wanted him to storm out.
But he didn't just run; he had a spin, and that's what caused.
Well,
that.
right. He wasn't the way he was standing. He wasn't. He didn't see this woman. His back was to her.
Yes.
So it was a whole bunch of seats. There was a center aisle. And so he yells at Mr. Potter. He spins to run down the center aisle, but right in the center of the aisle is a woman in a wheelchair in the front row. So when he spins and starts to run, he just runs right into her. He falls on top of her. The wheelchair goes back.
It tipped back.
I mean, her head, I'm telling you, less than 6 inches from hitting the floor.
Yeah, I don't know how it didn't topple over.
And then I don't know how this happened either, but it was like it had a spring or something. Like they go down.
It went doing.
He's like they're there suspended for a second with their faces right at each other, and all of a sudden, vroom, it came right back. He gets off and he runs out. The whole place is in hysterics. Now I'm sitting where I'm sitting, and again, we're told we have to look straight, we have to be serious. We're all trying to hold it together. Mm-hmm. And I'm the worst. If people are I'm that guy in class. I was always the first to laugh, always the first one to be told to go sit in a corner or go to the principal's office because I was not that guy that can hold something in.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in class farts, I'm the first one. So I am trying my damnedest. I mean, the whole place is laughing hysterically. The next scene actually had to wait because people are just like just
that's right.
reacting.
There was a pause.
Oh,
there had to be a pause. Yeah.
But so right in front of me, we're told to look straight. Always look straight and look serious. In the front row, so they're right in front of me, was your ex-wife, her 10 to 12-year-old son,
Steven.
and your 10 to 12-year-old.
Steven.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're talking two, almost teenage boys. Boys are boys.
And I remember looking at Steven's face, and he was like,
right. But after the fact, now that I'm sitting there and they're straight ahead, right in front of me, two boys at that age are boys, and it's what boys do. They're crying, they're laughing so hard. So of all places, again, we're told to look straight, and there they are, straight from me. So I'm trying. The tears are coming down, and I'm like, they're hysterical. Your ex-wife is hysterical.
Yeah.
I eventually just went. I had to put my head down. Yeah. I had to. My head is down, and I'm laughing. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It was, and unfortunately, I really didn't see it.
Oh, is that right?
Because where I was standing, he went like this way or that way, so I only saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the full effect of seeing the whole thing.
I mean, face to face like this, and then back, and then the whole place just. I mean, people screamed when they went back. Then when they came back. Just a big collective sigh, and then because everybody's okay, now they're laughing. I mean, It was just one of the craziest things.
And there was a bunch of people there. It wasn't like it was...
Oh, it was a crowded room.
It was a crowded room.
I'll say 75 to 100.
Yeah, I would say there was a bunch of people there.
Absolutely. Whew, yeah, that was that was something. That was crazy.
Because normally in basic acting classes, if they tell you in blocking, if you have to turn around, take a beat to see when you turn around, see what's in front of you. You can't just spin and run because you don't know what's going to be there.
Sure, right. Oh my goodness!
In high school, I played. I don't remember the show, and I didn't have a big part. It was a comedy though, and one of the funniest lines is, I'm like flirting with this woman who's really strong built, right? And she's got strong legs, and I said, "Wow, you can make a fortune pulling a rickshaw." Right now, being 11th grade or 12th grade, I don't, I remember the audience was hysterical.
That's a funny line.
It's a funny line, but Saul Liebman, who was the guidance counselor and also the director, and he loved my comic timing, and he loved that I always broke the fourth wall. So I delivered the line, everyone's laughing, and I went, I'm glad everyone's laughing. I don't even know what a rickshaw is. And went back to the scene.
And he was okay with that.
Oh, he thought it was hysterical. That got a bigger laugh.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Because I didn't even know what a rickshaw was when I first read the script. I'm like, a rickshaw, and then it was explained to me.
Oh, I was about to ask if you asked what it was. Yeah.
But I did it in a rehearsal. He says, "Do it."
Oh, so all right. So it was an ad lib that worked its way in.
Its way in. Yeah.
My brother, that's actually how I got into acting. My brother.
Really?
My brother was, always the singer.
Yeah.
So when he was in 10th grade, which back then was the first year of high school, he was asked to be in the musical they were doing because he can sing. A funny thing happened on the way to the Forum.
Wow.
Great show. I saw it on Broadway with Nathan Lane.
Wow.
Hysterical.
Wow.
So I was in 7th grade. And it was one day after school, and I had nothing to do. So I was like, screw it. I walked over to the high school to go watch my brother in rehearsal. And back then, schools didn't have security. Doors weren't locked. I walked right into the high school, walked right into the auditorium, and just sat down in the middle of the auditorium and just sat there and was watching. Mm-hmm. Now, I think pretty much since I was born, I've been taller than my brother. And as long as I can remember, people have always thought I'm older than him.
Oh.
And I wasn't then, and I'm not now. Older than him. But so some girl, she comes to the edge of the stage, she looks at me, and she goes, "We need extras in the play. You want to be in the play?" Like, okay. Like, what did I know? Okay. I'm there, I'm being told what to do, where to go. I'm there for about an hour. Like, when I got there, I didn't see my brother. So I just sat down, figured I'd see him eventually. This girl asked me to be in it. I jump up. She's like, "What's your name?" I go, "Tony." She's okay. You're going to do this. All right, over here. So I'm just following instructions. Most of these girls I thought were hot. So I was like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm going to meet all these high school chicks."
Yeah.
Really, that was like, that was like my only motivation at that point. I was there for almost an hour before I even saw my brother. And I'm jumping around on stage, and all of a sudden he comes out. I think it was stage right, if I remember right. And it was like an Abbott and Costello moment. We both did and then he goes, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know. This girl," I pointed out, she asked me to be in the play. He went to there. He goes, "He's only in 7th grade. Like, we don't care. We need people." Okay. So from 7th grade, I was in the high school, and I stayed. I stayed there. I did a few shows. Mm-hmm. So that's right. I lost my train of thought. But it was actually from watching him because he really didn't enjoy acting, and he did.
He didn't.
I think he did one other play,
but that part had a lot of audience participation. If
well, he wasn't the lead guy.
Right,
he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He was. He was the. I guess the king. That was him and his son were chasing after the same girl. If you know the show.
Uh-huh.
If you saw the movie, Zero Mostel was the actor that Frank, whose role Frank was playing. But he had I just thought Frank was funny. Like, he would, because the show was very slapstick and very clever, and a lot of like.
It's a very funny show.
Yeah, and very like a lot of things intertwine. A lot of things are coincidental, and one thing leads to another thing, and it all kind of comes together at the end. So in the midst of all this confusion, whenever Frank would be in the middle of a scene where there was all sorts of confusion, he would like look at the audience and just go, he would do little things like that I thought were just kind of funny.
Yeah.
And again, Carol Burnett and all these other types of shows, but that was part of it for me. Like, I'm hanging out with these hot girls, but making the audience laugh too. Mm-hmm. Like, it was kind of fun, And then as I got older, in high school, that was the rule of thumb. If the seniors got all the good parts because they're seniors because they're leaving.
Yeah.
So in my senior year, I got when we did Anything Goes. I had, the role of Moonface Martin was such a great role, and I loved it. But I'm the opposite of my brother. I do not like to sing publicly. I don't think I have a good voice. I'm very uncomfortable. So this part of Moonface Martin has some singing. And I actually was like begging my director to keep the role, but figure out a way to have somebody else sing.
Yeah.
Never, of course she wouldn't do that. And I struggled throughout the 2 or 3 months of rehearsal, struggled through the whole thing. But the director, and I think it was just a promotional tool. At the time, Hicksville had, I think, 6 or 7 elementary schools. They had a lot. So the week of the show, she got all the seniors excused from school for 2 days. And she drove a little bus to each elementary school. We'd hit like 3 or 4 a day. Yeah, for 2 days. Yeah. So that would be 3 one day, 4 the next. And we hit all the elementary schools and did like a little, program, a little, what do you call that? When all the classes, they go watch something. They're pulled out of class.
In the auditorium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what
An
it's
assembly.
called. An assembly. Thank you. And we were the assembly. We would go for maybe an hour to each school and just perform the musical numbers. So now the music teacher would come with us. I mean, obviously we're not going to have, like in the play, students are in the orchestra. We're obviously not taking an orchestra with us. We didn't even dress in costume. The director, the teacher, she got Hicksville High School Anything Goes shirts.
Nice.
And that's what we wore. So we performed the musical numbers with the music teacher just playing piano. There's nothing else. So the song, I had one song that I do completely by myself, which I was terrified.
Wow.
And it starts off like, how do I explain this? You sing a line and the music stops. Then you sing the next line with the music and it stops. Almost like an intro type of thing. And then the actual melody comes in, and it's a little peppy little thing. So as I'm doing each line and then the music stops, then you have to do the next line because it starts off slow. That's what like the first 3 or 4 lines of the song. It's called "Be Like the Bluebird." It was slow, and then the main melody comes in, and it's a little jolly, happy little ditty. But when I was doing the slow part for the intro, like I said, the music would stop. So what happened was the music teacher started improvising on the piano and just doing all these crazy things. And I'll never forget. I remember I don't remember which school it was, but I remember him doing it. I'm on the stage. He's off to my left on the piano. And he's going all around, all over the place. And I'm like, I just remember looking at him. I'm in front of all these kids, and I'm looking at him. And he's looking back at me. He's just smiling. So I'm like, what the fuck? But it was weird. The smile, it relaxed me, but at the same time it didn't. Because it told me he was doing it on purpose.
Yep.
And then
actually a brilliant move on his part.
Well, yeah. Because then I realized, okay, he's giving me the license to have fun with this and to go somewhere with this and to improvise. But then I stressed again.
But to relax you, kind of, yeah.
Yes, but then I started to stress again, like, all right, but what do I do? And again, we're not rehearsing. I'm in front of an audience. But I did. I just jumped in, and I was like, instead of finishing the line that I had to sing, I'm like trying to not follow him. If he's bing, ding, 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 I would go, woo, and I would try to follow him, and we would just go all over the place. I would hit line, like, I would crack on purpose. Because, we're doing elementary school kids. They're laughing at this silly shit.
Sure. Yeah. Because it is kind of a silly-ish show.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it changed everything instantly. We went to every school doing that. We actually did more. The more we did these shows, the more we were improvising, the more fun we were having with it. Totally changed my mindset. By the time we went and did the actual shows, my confidence was there. I made it bad on. Not that I would have been good anyway, but I purposely made it bad so that it would work. And yeah, I nailed it. And man, I was, and for a high school kid, this is before internet and social media. Your whole world is your high school.
Oh, absolutely.
Like there is nothing outside those walls.
No.
Maybe just outside your town. Yeah. So I was the guy that following Monday at school. Like, that was my whole day.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you were great.
Yeah.
Oh, the best when the good-looking girls come up to you. Oh, Tony, you were so funny. Like, come here, baby. Like it was just, oh man, and it just changed everything. And that was the moment that I think, like, I think I like to do something in this world. Yeah, it was, it was wild. I'll never forget it. And I actually brought that up a few years ago. That music teacher, they dedicated the auditorium to him at Hicksville High School. They had a big ceremony, and I got to speak at it. And I told that story.
That's funny how you bring up how you just said, "Oh, I think I like to do this," because I did the 11th grade show.
Okay.
Don't remember what it was. It was a bunch of skits. Like I played Garfield, and a pie was thrown in my face.
Nice.
And of course Garfield style. I hate Mondays. And Saul Liebman, the guidance counselor, he was the guidance counselor, but he was the director.
Right.
And he just looked at me. He goes, "You're perfect on stage. You do great." And I remember thinking, kind of like this. And that's how you got started. That's how I got started. It starts early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It starts really early.
I did. I had a teacher. I'm going to stop for a second. Shut up. You know who you're talking. You know who I'm talking to. You know who that's for. I'm being bitched at that I haven't read comments. Sometimes I don't get to it. You don't like it? Too freaking bad, you son of a bitch bastard. I'll read the comments before
we're having a nice flowy conversation.
And I did read some comments in the beginning, but I'll get to them. Don't worry. Calm down. It's okay. Reach into that camera and smack you. I actually had the same thing. A teacher, after doing Anything Goes, this teacher who I didn't know. It was in between classes. The hallways are packed. Kids are running to their classes. This one teacher grabbed me, pulled me aside. She goes, I have to tell you, you were fantastic in Anything Goes. I was like, oh, thank you very much. She goes, no, I'm serious. She goes, you were fantastic. And I was like, okay, thanks. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She goes, you look so comfortable up there, and you were having so much fun. Mm-hmm. She goes, some people, they find out, what they're meant to do, when they're still in school. She goes, I would advise that you try and get into theater, when you graduate.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. I mean, because, teachers, I don't know about now, but when we were kids, and I think even generations before us, priests and teachers and parents, like these authoritative figures, good, whatever they did or said to you, good or bad, just meant everything to you. It just carried so much weight, and that's why I say good or bad, because if they said something bad, you carried it for your whole life. Mm-hmm. Like you were scarred, or if it was something good, I can remember that moment when this woman pulled me aside. If I had my yearbook, I would look up her name, because I don't remember her name, because I didn't know her at all. That's my only interaction ever with this woman. But yeah, she pulled me aside and said, you should go into this. Which, for a teacher, to say it, you just feel like you're doing something right.
Yeah.
It just kind of validates what you're doing.
I was just going to say that. When you get validated in high school at such an impressionable age, you want to run home and say, Mom, Dad, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do, And,
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
In fact, this same music teacher who did that, who I gave the speech about, he was also, and I've told this before, he was also Billy Joel's music teacher in Hicksville High School.
Yeah.
And he actually told Billy Joel, you should be a professional musician, which Billy Joel has talked about it in appearances and interviews. He's like, this guy's basically telling me I should live a life of drugs and sex and probably homelessness, but he did. He carried that with him. Yeah. He thanked this teacher on the liner notes of his first album. He thanked him. Do you know the song Leningrad by Billy Joel?
Yeah, sure I do.
That music teacher, Chuck Arnold, Billy had him come in with some of the Hicksville High School chorus to sing background on that song, and they're credited on it. Yeah, that was only a year after I graduated. So all these kids that sang on it, they're all friends of mine.
Wow.
And then at this auditorium event that I spoke at, Billy he showed up, and he said the same thing. This guy actually told me, and he basically said the same thing. For a teacher to say that to you, it's almost like a doctor. If they tell you, something is curable, they don't say it unless they know 100% that it's curable.
Yes.
It was kind of like the same thing. It has that kind of power, that kind of weight on you,
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, and you're absolutely right. I had a chorus teacher. Some guy from the city. He was examining all our voices. If you're a tenor, alto, baritone, bass, baritone, whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy from the city was out, and it was just everyone went up to the piano individually and went do re mi fa sol la ti do, and I did it, and I walked away. The guy says, "Come back here a second." And he goes, "Can you do that again?" I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Can you do it lower? Can you do it lower? Can you do it lower?" He goes, "Wow." He goes, do me a favor. He goes, "Go home and tell your parents."
Oh, I thought that was the end of the story. I'm kidding. Go home.
Go home and tell your parents, tell your mother and father to put you in singing lessons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So my question to you is, why didn't we go to theater school? I mean, that's another.
I was not a good student. I wasn't like.
Yeah, I liked the social aspect of school.
I liked the social aspect of school. I liked certain subjects, but I was just one of those kids where if I didn't like a subject, I've always been this way. I've always questioned authority. and I was the type like, all right, well, if I don't like this subject, why am I here? Why can't I just participate in the things I'm interested in?
Yeah.
And they would say, well, because you have to. And that just never, and I would not put in a lot of work in the subject I was not interested in. So I was not a good student. And outside of, I played ball for a couple of years at school. I was in the yearbook staff a little bit. But I wasn't really, I liked the social aspect, and I would go to school and do my thing, but I didn't have a lot of school spirit. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of things. I had no idea. This is just the truth. I had no idea that a guidance counselor was there to basically, set you up and to help you transition and, help you find a college. So I never did any of that. I never even took the Regents. No, not the Regents, the SATs. I never even took them because I was like, I'm not interested. My mindset was, I'm going to graduate and get a job, get a family, and just work.
Yeah.
It wasn't until senior year of high school where I played Moonface Martin, Anything Goes, and that was March of '88. So the school year is half over.
Oh yeah.
That's when I started to realize, I can go to acting school.
Yeah.
And I can do this. I can. And by that point, I honestly, not to put the blame on anybody else, but I think my guidance counselor, I think he just kind of felt, no, you're late. You're really late to the game, and
maybe
I
my
don't
guy
really
too,
feel like
he
dealing with
he
this.
He didn't push it either.
He didn't push.
He told me, "Oh, you're natural. You're so good."
I never had that kind of conversation, but I did eventually go to him. It's like, I want to play. How do I apply for college? What do I do?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, you should have been here a year ago. And I got along with him, but I really think, and he was an older fella. He
now
probably
it's different now.
Right.
Everything is
everything.
You got to go to college. Got to go to college.
Well, and even when I graduated, most of my friends were going off to college, and that's when it hit me when they actually left.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, what am I going to do now?
I know.
They're all gone.
They're a throat punch.
Yeah, and I didn't. I felt like a loser. And I'm working at a lumber yard for, at that time, I think it was $8 an hour, $7.50, and they're going to college and they're going to have careers. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? And it took me, and then started dating the woman who became my first wife. She actually said to me, because I did some community theater.
Yeah.
And Broad Hollow Theater brought me in to do some children's theater. And I had fun. But even then, I'm 18. I had no idea. Like, I really did. I really thought, if I keep doing this local theater, somebody's going to discover me.
Right.
Like, no, you moron. You got to go into the city. You got to hustle. You got to. I didn't know. But then my girlfriend, who became my first wife, she actually said to me one day, she came to see the children's theater, and she thought I was terrible. And she actually said that. She goes, you were terrible. I was like, really? I go, you don't think I have what it takes to make it? She goes, no way. Later, I'm thinking she just said that because she didn't want to go through the struggle and carry the financial burden.
Yeah.
So I just, worked, and I stopped acting. And I just worked, and I hated it. Hated every second of it. Didn't help that there were other issues with her, but yeah, that's why I did. So so the guidance counselor wasn't really helping me. I did apply to NYU, which, what is that, Tisch? Is that the program, their acting program? They only accept, I think it's like 8 or 10 kids a year.
You got to be really
Somebody, I don't know how. I don't know how this happened, but they must have talked to somebody because they called me and said, look, we got your application, but you still need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And whoever this person was called me, who actually said, if you can get this done and you take care of this, your chances are very good. At the time, I knew NYU was a good acting school. I didn't know at the time they only take 8 to 10 students into their program. I didn't know much about them, but I knew they were a good school. Half the stuff this person was telling me to do was a woman. Half the stuff she was telling me to do, if you matriculate and if you do this and you get this transcript, like I didn't know what the hell she was talking about.
Right. Yeah.
Get off the phone. I didn't even do half of what she was asking for. I didn't know what she was talking about. And plus at this point, I think I was graduating. Like now I didn't even know, like I didn't even know you can go back to your old school and talk to the guidance counselor to get some help.
Yeah.
Like I really thought, like, all right, well, I graduated, like the door was shut. Like I didn't know how to get the stuff.
Over,
So I just didn't go. I just didn't know how to go after. I was dumb. I was just a stupid
no, we weren't
kid.
Dumb.
I was a stupid kid. And I don't say that. I'm not trying to say anything bad. I was naive. I was young, and I didn't mature. Well,
I didn't mature either
yet.
because I did what that chorus teacher said. I went home, and I'm not. This is what happened. Both my parents. I'm going to put an umbrella over both my parents. You can't sing. You can't sing. You can't sing. There's no way. It's a 1 in a million shot. So when you talk about authoritative people in your life, who's more authoritative than your parents?
So that's what they said to you?
Yes.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
So when your parents say, there's no way you can pull that off, you're going to believe them, right?
Right.
And I did the same thing as you. We had very mirrored lives. We just got out, got jobs, found girlfriends, married, kid, whatever.
Well, then, and then when
we got into community theater, and then later on we did our thing. But
and I really started community theater thinking something was going to come out of it.
So did I. Yeah.
And then, I started dating the woman that became my first wife. I started dating her at 19. So I remember, at the time, I'm working in a warehouse driving a truck. I got a CDL license. And I remember her parents like, that's all you're doing? Like, what are your plans? And I remember actually even saying to them, like, I don't know. And like they were so disappointed. They were actually the ones who got me the job in the phone company. They had some connections.
It's so funny. My first girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, she was in bed. She got into a car accident, and I was there. Wow. And I was working for the town. And at that time in the 80s, nobody wanted a town job, even though now everybody wants a town job.
Yep.
And I remember the father looking at me, and I was 19, 20. And he looked at me, and he goes, do something with your life.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, I'm a fucking loser. You know, and that's when I joined the Army.
Well, right. And then getting the job at the phone company back then, the utilities was a job to get.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember several people like bumping into old friends from high school or parents or people that I know. Like, so what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working for the phone company. Wow.
Yeah.
And it was decent money. It wasn't great money, but it was decent. Super benefits at the time. Union protection. But, man, I hated every second of it.
Oh, absolutely.
I hated every second of it. Definitely some great times.
Yeah.
I've met some great guys.
Yeah.
Some of them I still talk to once in a while. But I hated the job.
Oh, yeah.
Hated the company. The company just got worse and worse as time went on. It just wasn't where I was meant to be.
No, me either.
And that's actually one of the reasons I love this. I mean, I never, years and years, never thought about becoming a stand-up comedian, but between being in here has led me to doing the films with Don and getting some great people to be in, that I met from the club to being in them. We've shot the films here, so doing films. Somebody just reached out to me. What's today? Wednesday, Monday. This kid that I've met, he reached out to me, offered me a role in some film he's making. It's led to fun stuff. So I do get mad when I think about, but at the same time, like, all right, but I'm in a good place and I'm having a good time. And then really, then to be able to make movies where my son is directing me.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, that's the screw the money. That's a payoff right there, man. And not only doing it with him, but doing it with him a few times.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, what's better than that? Than being able to work with your kid?
Nothing.
Right. So I try, I do think about it sometimes. I'm like, man, was I stupid? Or man, did I blow some opportunities? And but I'm doing some cool things. Do I want to get noticed? I'm not chasing fame anymore. I don't care about that. But I would like to make some money in here.
Right.
I've been working for almost for free since day one, and I love it. And there's perks. I mean, I have total freedom in here to bring in who I want, say whatever I want. Governors they've barely ever complained to me. There are a few things here and there that they complain about, but hardly ever. I have free reign in here.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
And there's, there have been times, I wouldn't say I was offered jobs, but there were times where people were like, oh, I might be able to hook you up with this over here, and I was contacted. You should apply for this. For like radio stations or other studios. I'm like, well, but then I'm not going to have the freedom. If they offered something, maybe I would have considered it. It would have been a more serious discussion, but it never got that far. So I'm still not being stupid by turning down paying gigs.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
But nothing's gone that far. But when it's just in the discussion stages, that's one of the things I say to myself. Would I be able to just pull in comedians? Would I be able to have the freedom of bringing in an actor one day, a musician tomorrow, and then a comedian Friday? I mean, and you guys know sometimes this door opens and somebody just felt like coming in. Like, I love that stuff. So
that is your personality.
And to me, it's worked out okay. I would like to make some more money, but other than that, it's worked out okay. All right. So with that, this was kind of cool. That was good. That was absolutely nothing that I had planned today, but that's fine. So I will read the comments.
Oh.
All right. Before we go, it's 12:31. We got it. All right. So give us 5 minutes, and we'll read the comments. Okay. Ava's been watching. She said, "Sup, buddies."
Sup.
Fremder. I was at the bank the other day, and I asked the teller if she would like to go out on a date. She said, with what? The $10.11 in your pocket? Did I tell you I tried to catch some fog the other day? Did I tell you that?
No.
I tried to catch some fog, but I missed.
Oh. I went to the bank, and I was working at a bank once. I messed it up. And a customer said, can you check my balance? So I pushed her over.
That's a one-legged joke that I use a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry.
A forester is walking through the forest, and a tree yells, "Stop, stop! You can't cut me down. I'm a talking tree." The forester responds, "Yeah, and you'll die a log."
Oh, my God.
Fremd, I used an all-natural chick from Flatbush.
What?
I don't know. Maybe that pertains to whatever we were talking about before. And Chef Felix is my bud. He sent me the nicest coffee mug with him and Bonnie's pictures on it with my name. Have my coffee in it every morning. Oh, is that right?
Wow.
And I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know Felix had a nice bone in his body. I'm kidding. Scott, this story has a sad beginning, middle, and end. I don't know, whatever we were talking about. Scott again. So the guy practiced his part. Unheard of. Yeah, but on 3 days' notice. That's impressive.
That's pretty big.
I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Ann says she loves Recipe for Laughter. That's Felix's and Bonnie's show, so not next week, the week after. They'll be on Thursday night.
Felix the cat.
Felix the cat. Chef Felix is his name.
Chef
I've never told you about this guy.
No.
He's got it made. So
the guy that doesn't drive.
Right.
So, yeah.
He used to have a show called Let's Eat Long Island. Then he had some health issues. Then he came back with Bonnie Scalisi, and they do a show called Recipe for Laughter. But both shows are very similar. They get comedians, and they get local chefs or people from restaurants, and they talk about food and talk about, their restaurants and whatnot. So he has them bring food in. And I'm telling you, Felix is a genius. So when he did the show by himself, it was just a bunch of guests talking, but now he's got a co-host. They all talk about their restaurant. They talk about the food they brought in, and he's just sitting there.
Oh, he's got it made.
The guy gets a free meal, and he barely says a word. I'm telling you, it's the perfect scam. And I've been telling him this for years. I've been telling him how jealous I am of his genius.
Yeah.
He just lets them all talk, and he's just eating away. And he gets a free meal, and then the show's over, and then off he goes. He says a little bit in the beginning, a little bit at the end. He does talk a little bit more now with this show, but in his other show, he would.
Wow.
So
he's eating cuisine off.
Oh yeah,
all over
he's
the place.
doing great. And yeah, sometimes it's cuisine, sometimes it's just the guy from the flea market over here on the other side of the parking lot who makes fresh pretzels. Sometimes it varies.
Yeah.
But he's always getting free food, and he's just munching away. He's a genius. Wow. If you say your lines like you read comments, the show is probably an hour and a half. I don't know why. I do struggle with Fremder's comments, but the God's honest truth, I should be wearing my glasses. That's why I'm struggling, because it's slightly blurry, just a little bit, enough that I'm struggling a tiny bit. But no, I do not say my lines like that. I am an actor.
An actor.
This is a great story. Thank God there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. That's a ton of lesbos out there. Oh, there's a ton of lesbos out there, says Scott. Yeah. Now we're talking much better conversation. Big tit lesbians. Sounds like there was a nap time in the middle of your show, says Scott. No, there was not. Love me a nice set of nanny knockers, says Fremder. Great story. I'll be right back. I'm going to go check my eyelids for holes, says Fremder. Jeff does it all. If he's not doing stand-up, stand-up's doing him. That's the truth. My pinky is more interesting than this conversation. Thanks, Fremder. Thanks. Kind of like your stand-up a few weeks ago. Make sure you don't eat too much and get a stomachache before you perform, and you don't want to get off stage with skid marks. Oh, skid marks. So glad I read that. Speaking of acting, can you guys act as if there's other shit to talk about? Hey, man. Jeez. Well, it's weird. Sometimes they get mean like this.
Yeah.
I'm getting bitched at for not reading comments, and then they're complaining they don't like the topic. Sorry, I can't talk about ink blots or your bad jokes every day. You want to dance? We'll dance, you motherfucker. You guys have been breaking the fourth wall since 11 o'clock. Frank. Frank was Senex, played by Phil Silvers in the movie.
Oh, really?
Zero Mostel played the main role. Okay, so Phil Silvers played Senex. Okay, fine. Ann says she loved Phil Silvers. Forget Ambien. If anyone's having trouble sleeping, they should just open up a bottle of you guys telling theater stories. Yep. It's very similar to you talking about Batman. I'd like to see a play that stars two bald guys that talk about theater for an hour and a half. Well, yeah. And again, we could, it's just like hearing about ink blots. Of course, Mike played Garfield. Look at that puss on his face. Right, that made me laugh. You don't have to read comments. It's only beneficial for the deaf people watching. When I told my parents I was going to do theater, they told me to take the condom out of my ass.
Get it.
Why are you laughing like that?
I don't know. I'm ashamed.
I broke my finger last week. Did I tell you about that?
No.
On the other hand, I'm okay. You should have continued with acting school. NYU stands for Now You're Underpaid. All right, Anna's saying goodbye. Nice thermos, Mike. It looks like Star Wars droid R2 drink you. Yeah, 90 minutes of those jokes. Yeah, that would be great. Felix is a great guy, says Ann. Yeah. I'm no expert, says Fremder, but isn't a number 2 pencil tree shit? I'm no expert, but isn't a number 2 pencil tree shit?
I've heard that joke before.
I don't
In a
get that
different
one.
way.
Felix is a king with the ladies in the Philippines. Yeah, that's what he says.
What?
Apparently, he has like a few thousand followers from the Philippines, and then like sometimes he'll go like live from his Facebook live from his house. No, I think his wife is maybe.
Oh,
but he'll go like live Facebook from his house, and he sings for them. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what that's about. It's very strange. Fremder, if the walls can talk, hopefully they don't ever tell that story again. Chris Thomas is watching. She says she loves the show today, which
Thank
is
you.
all I need. That's all I need to know. Oh, I thank you, Scott. Number 2 pencil, number 2 shit, tree shit.
I get it.
It wasn't worth it, but thank you, Chris Thomas. She loved the show today. I love her. I love Chris
Me too.
Thomas.
I don't know her, but I do.
Oh, you should know her. She's the best. Chris, when are you coming in? Chris wanted to come in last Thursday, but we had our musical guest set up. So I unfortunately had to turn it down, which I felt awful about. But Chris, please come in soon. Tomorrow, Richie Byrne is coming in. Very excited about that. Richie, it's been a while since we've seen Richie. So looking forward to that. Friday, me and Rosie and comedian Chris Williamson will be here. I'm Buzz Aldrin, second man to step on the moon. Kneel before me.
I beg your pardon?
I'm Buzz Aldrin, second man to step on the moon. Kneel before me.
No.
Kneel?
I get it.
Oh, okay. All right.
To infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear.
What?
What?
Buzz Aldrin.
I know. I was thinking of Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story.
That has nothing to do with what I said.
I know it doesn't, but
all right.
It made me think of it. Toys and sex. That's strange.
How do you spot a blind man on a nude beach?
You look at his wanker.
It's not hard. Yeah. So circling the drain tonight at 7:00. Coffee with the dog tomorrow at 9. Like I said, I'll be back with. What do you mean? What? I didn't read all of Ann's comment? Wishing everyone a happy day. Miss you, my sweets. Wherever you are. Hugs. Oh, all right. You're right. I didn't look at that. Oh, I see, because Rusciello's not commenting. Maybe because I yelled at him before? I would love to fight with John. Who do you think would win? Like physical. Like a physical brawl.
I have no comment.
All right. Yes, we did miss his comments today. Well, I didn't because he was privately texting me, that son of a bitch. What was I talking about? Coffee with the dog, me and Richie tomorrow, and then nothing tomorrow night. I have Circling the Drain tonight at 7. I don't have to be here for that. And then tomorrow night, there's nothing on. So I have 2 free nights.
Oh.
I'm very excited about that. But yes, once again, please support Gov's Comedy Club podcast and vote for us for the best of Long Island. We appreciate all the support, as always. Thanks for sticking with us a little late today. And don't forget the club, Gov's Comedy Club podcast. Oh, that reminds me. I got to tell you something about that. So the club, govs.com, govs.com. Some of the comedians you'll see on a governor's stage this week: Peter Antonio, Pinky Patel, Teddy Smith, Leah Rudick, Tommy Gooch. So go to govs.com, govs.com. Make your reservations to some shows. November 1st, Married, Single, and a Baby is the name of a show. And it features comedians Joe Bublowitz. Forgive me, Joe, for saying your name wrong. Vanessa Hollingshead, who's fantastic. And the one and only Chris Monty. Chris Monty just like Joey Cola, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite comedians, just a great dude. He's been in here several times. Next Tuesday, he's going to be on Hershey and the Keegs. And then next Wednesday with us, from 11:15 to 11:45, he will be Zooming with us.
Who?
Chris Monty.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. Go see his show on November 1st. He is one of the best there is. So go check out that show. Married, Single, and a Baby. Go to govs.com. They're playing the Brokerage November 1st. So, and then don't forget, December 6th in the Giga Room, it's a Govs Comedy Club podcast night in the Giga Room. The people that host shows in here who are stand-up comedians or who have done stand-up will be performing. Steve K from Steve Squared. Joey Petroni is a possibility, not set in stone yet. But set in stone is Rosie Fiumara, who hosts with me on Fridays. Laura and Kathy, who do a show every other Monday night in here. Hershey and the Keegs are both performing. And it's not set in stone yet, but Joey Cola has been asked to headline. We're hoping it's going to be a great show no matter what. Keegan will probably headline if Joey doesn't, but Joey will just enhance. It's going to be a great night no matter what. Joey just enhances it. But it'll be great with or without him. So please come on down. So we're inviting all the hosts of all the shows, even if they're not stand-up, to at least just come.
Yeah.
We're going to cover their ticket. So if you want to get one for Jen, that's on you. But
you're December what?
December 6th.
Nice.
So if you don't, if you're not a comedian, we're going to cover you guys to come anyway. We're going to spotlight all the shows. So I'm hosting, and I'll probably just, like in between comics or something, I'll probably just mention one of the shows, and I'll maybe have some of the hosts stand up and wave or something. We'll do something like that. Don Sill will be there, of course. I think it's gonna be a really fun night. Looking forward to that.
I'd like to perform.
You want to do stand up?
No. A skit.
You want to perform a skit
with you or somebody? That'd be funny.
All right. I tell you what. If you can find like something that's not over 5.
Okay.
Preferably even less if possible.
3, 4.
Yeah. Anywhere from 3 to 5. Then I'll fit it in because I don't want this night to be
tight.
too long.
I know.
Yeah. So
okay.
But no, I do it. So that's that. And then December 13th, Knock 'em Dead Comedy, we're performing a mob-themed holiday murder mystery at McGuire's. December 13th. Yeah. So go to govs.com, go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see what we got cooking, as well as info on how you can hire us for your event. And why do I feel like I'm leaving something out? I don't think I am. All right. Kneel before me, Astro Nut. All right. We got through it today, says Scott. Come on.
Come on.
This is all identifiable. Like, I'm sure Fremder was
That's
told many...
what I was going to say, identifiable. Right. People think after high school, what am I going to do?
Right.
And plus, it's an hour and a half of you don't have to think about your life. You're listening to
I have
people,
no doubt people
right?
were telling Fremder when he was in high school that he's a loser. So he should have related to this. So everybody have a great day. You guys are the best. All right. Have a great day. And, we'll see you tomorrow with Richie Byrne. And we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
And Chris Monty will be joining us on Zoom for a half hour.
Monty.
All right.